The first thing that will be different about my presidency is that you will see, first of all, that it is an inclusive presidency. People from every part of Nigeria will be in my inner circle in the presidency and across the government. You will also see that the government is a government that will be based on merit, not on cronyism or nepotism. The third thing that you will see is that we will immediately from day one begin to execute our plan because we are prepared. I have written a book, Build, Innovate, and Grow Big, which contains my vision for our country. And in that book, I have set out a very clear plan for how to reform Nigeria's economy, how to build Nigeria into a real nation. I've set out a vision for leadership and governance. Within 24 hours, we will announce the cabinet and send the nominations to the National Assembly. As I'm being sworn in, we will announce the top officials of the presidency. Now, and something very different also will be this. This vision, how will it work? How will it be translated from a vision into reality? Inside the presidency, I will establish 4 very important offices. The first will be the Office of National Strategy. The second will be the Office of Performance Management. The third will be the National Office of Risk Management. And the fourth will be the Office of Human Capital Development. These 4 offices will become the engine room of the presidency. The Office of National Strategy will set out the broad strategy for governance and transformation of Nigeria over 4 years and set out a plan to execute this strategy. The Office of Performance Management will be monitoring the implementation of that strategy. They will monitor every ministry and every big government parastatal to see whether they are meeting the targets that we have set in the strategy. Because in the strategy, we set a target of 6 months, 1 year for specific achievements, milestones. So we will monitor whether those milestones are being achieved. And if those milestones are not being achieved, there will be accountabilities. So people will be held accountable. Now, the Office of Risk Management will help me as president manage the risks that prevent governments from achieving their good intentions. Risk management is something that I'm very familiar with. Strategy is something I'm very familiar with. So performance management is something I'm very familiar with. The reason why I can do this is because in the Central Bank of Nigeria, where I was deputy governor, we did it in the management of the Nigerian economy, and it succeeded. We did it in the management of the banking sector reform, where I was in charge of implementing the reforms as Deputy Governor for Financial System Stability, when Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was the governor. So I have the experience of results-based leadership. That is what I'll bring to the presidency. So this is not a promise that I'm making to you. I'm telling you a plan and how the plan will be executed. Now, what are the specific things we can expect from a Kingsley Moghalu presidency? Number one, let's talk about the economy. We're going to move Nigeria's economy away from dependence on oil revenues to an economy that is driven by innovation. We will encourage scientific innovation and inventions by our young people. We will protect intellectual property. We will move for a constitutional amendment to make intellectual property, the protection of the products of our mind, a foundation of the Constitution in terms of economic management. Now, what happens is that when people invent things and they profit from their inventions because the intellectual property is protected, it makes them more productive. So we will also now establish a venture capital fund. This fund will be 1 trillion naira. 500 billion naira will come from the government. 500 billion naira will come from the private sector. The 500 billion that will come from the government is already budgeted in the so-called social intervention fund, which has been a failure. It has not, they claim they're giving 5,000 naira to every unemployed person. What will 5,000 naira do for you? What we need is creating wealth, not recycling poverty.